Imagine stepping outside at noon in ancient Egypt. The sun sits directly overhead, so intense that shadows almost disappear beneath your feet. Sand burns through the soles of your sandals, sweat forms on your skin, and vanishes almost instantly, evaporated into dry desert air before it can even cool you. No air conditioning, no electric fans, no refrigeration, no modern medicine to treat heat stroke. And yet, in this exact environment, an entire civilization didn't just survive. They built one of the most enduring societies in human history, generation after generation, for thousands of years. So how did they do it? The answer isn't one invention. It's dozens of small, interlocking decisions, some so ordinary you'd walk right past them. Until now. Egypt sits within one of the driest climate zones on Earth. Summer temperatures in the Nile Valley regularly climb past 40 degrees Celsius, with almost no rainfall to soften them. With little cloud cover or humidity, sunlight hits the ground with brutal intensity, and the ground bakes back upward, turning stone and sand into a second sun beneath people's feet. For the human body, this is dangerous. Sweat is our main cooling system, but in dry heat, it evaporates so fast the body must produce more just to keep up, losing water and salt with every drop. Push too hard without enough water, and dehydration escalates into heat exhaustion, even heat stroke. There was no hospital waiting to intervene. The desert wasn't a backdrop to Egyptian life. It was an active force, tested daily. But Egyptians didn't survive it through brute endurance. They survived it through observation, starting with something as simple as time itself. Evidence from tomb paintings and administrative records suggests labor was often organized around the day's rhythm. Mornings for heavy work, the punishing midday hours reserved for rest or lighter tasks where possible. This pattern extended across the year. Egyptian life followed the Nile's flood cycle, broadly divided into flooding, growing, and harvest seasons, and major agricultural labor clustered around the cooler, wetter parts of that cycle. Even large construction projects may have taken advantage of flood season, when barges could move heavy stone and farmland's labor was temporarily free. None of this required technology. It required generations learning what the desert would tolerate and building an entire civilization's rhythm around it. Linen, woven from flax, was Egypt's dominant fabric, worn across social classes, though quality varied widely. It's naturally breathable. Its fibers let air pass through and help pull moisture away from the skin, assisting evaporation rather than trapping heat. Clothing for laborers tended to be loose and minimal: kilts, wraps, simple dresses, leaving skin exposed for airflow. Loose fabric creates a buffer of moving air against direct sun. But not everyone dressed alike. Elite Egyptians, especially in ceremonial settings, wore heavier, layered garments, rich in symbolism, but far less practical for heat. Even the common preference for pale linen may have helped reflect sunlight, though ancient sources rarely frame this as deliberate strategy. Step into a mud brick home, and the temperature drops almost immediately. No machinery required, just materials and geometry refined over centuries. Mud brick: Nile mud, straw, and water, dried in the sun, has high thermal mass. Thick walls absorb heat slowly through the day and release it slowly at night, so interiors lag far behind outdoor temperature swings. Small, high windows limited direct sun, while still allowing airflow. Narrow streets in dense settlements created shade for much of the day, and courtyards in wealthier homes offered open, shielded space where air could circulate. It's important to be precise here. Historians don't believe structures like the pyramids were designed primarily as cooling systems. Their purpose was religious and funerary. But across ordinary homes, the pattern of material, wall thickness, and window placement aligns strikingly with what modern building science now calls passive cooling, whether or not Egyptians ever described it that way. Egyptian civilization existed almost entirely within a narrow green strip along a single river, surrounded by desert. The Nile supplied drinking water, irrigation, transportation, and the fertile silt that made farming possible at all, and settlement patterns cluster overwhelmingly along its banks. But the Nile wasn't limitless. Its flood cycle, while broadly predictable, varied year to year, and historical records reference famine following weak floods. Water still required labor to carry, store, and channel through irrigation systems. The Nile shifted the odds dramatically in humanity's favor, but it never made survival automatic. A popular myth claims Egyptians avoided water and drank beer instead. Most historians consider this an oversimplification. Ancient beer was lower in alcohol and closer to a nutritious, calorie-dense food than a recreational drink. But water was still consumed directly, despite its risks. Bread and beer formed the caloric backbone of daily life, supplemented by onions, garlic, legumes, dates, figs, and Nile fish, with meat more common among wealthier households. Preservation techniques like drying and salting helped slow spoilage in a climate where food could turn quickly. Evidence of a population working with their environment, not against it. Strip away clothing and architecture, and heat, survival becomes a story of physiology. Blood vessels near the skin dilate to release heat. Sweat glands cool the body through evaporation. But sweating costs water and electrolytes the body must replace. Ancient practices line up strikingly well with modern science. Seeking shade reduced direct solar heat load. Loose linen supported evaporative cooling. Salted foods offered incidental electrolyte replacement. Timing labor around cooler hours reduced exposure. Thick-walled homes gave the body a cooler place to recover. None of this required understanding thermoregulation in modern terms. It simply worked, refined by trial and accumulated knowledge. Not everyone could retreat indoors during the hottest hours. Based on evidence from sites like Deir el-Medina, home to royal tomb builders, historians have reconstructed a general, not documented, picture of a laborer's day. Rising before sunrise, eating bread and beer, traveling and working during the cooler hours, pausing in scattered shade during the worst heat, and returning home as the sun lowered, to walls that had spent the day absorbing outdoor heat and were now releasing it slowly into the cooling evening. This wasn't an easy life, and heat illness remained a real risk. But it was a life shaped, imperfectly, by generations of practical knowledge about surviving the climate. Ancient Egypt wasn't an endless sea of sand. The Nile Valley was a fertile, green strip, often ending abruptly at the desert's edge. Most Egyptians lived within this fertile band, rarely venturing deep into the desert except for mining, trade, or reaching scattered oases. This matters. Most Egyptians weren't battling the harshest possible desert daily. They were managing a genuinely hot climate, softened meaningfully by water and vegetation nearby. Ancient Egyptians never defeated the heat. There was no single invention that solved the problem. Instead, they built a dense web of small adaptations: timing, clothing, architecture, water, diet, and generations of accumulated knowledge that together made survival possible. None of it required modern science. It required something humans have always done well: noticing what works and passing it forward long enough to become culture. Picture that same figure from the opening, still standing beneath the Egyptian sun. The heat still presses down without mercy. But now notice the linen catching a breeze, the day's labor already shifting toward its cooler edges, the dark doorway just ahead holding a coolness the sun will never touch, and the green line of the Nile making all of it possible. We didn't inherit air conditioning from ancient Egypt. We inherited proof that human beings, with almost none of today's tools, can still build entire civilizations, simply by paying close attention to the world around them and adjusting patiently until survival becomes second nature.